Call husband. Call Mikkel. Oh. Hi, Gear. Hi, Gear. Hello, Gear. Hello, Gear. Hello, Gear. Hello, Gear. Check my schedule.
Here are your calendar items.
Access Google.
I'm sorry, I couldn't find Google on your device. Please check to see if this application is installed, then try again.
So in the previous scene, that was me connecting my Google Pixel phone with the Samsung Gear S3. When you don't have a Samsung phone, you need to download the Samsung Galaxy app, which enables you to get the Samsung apps that will perform on this watch here. I will explain those later on. Right now we're just gonna talk about the connection. It is not compatible 100%, but it's pretty freaking good. I can make calls and receive calls with the smartwatch via Bluetooth. Now, I recall, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but with the Gear S2, you were prompted to put the smartwatch under your plan with whatever provider service you had. I was totally turned off by that feature. And then once I heard that you could do that without putting the phone, do you know how much they charge per device? $10. I did not want to pay $10 just to make silly calls on my watch, but I wanted it, but I didn't want to pay the $10 extra. Now, if you're not wearing the watch, you can only reject the calls. That's pretty cool. It can sense that it's on your wrist or not. If the watch is not properly on your wrist, it will not let you pick up the calls. The microphone is located right here under the buttons, so you'll be able to like talk to it like blah 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 blah. A time that it was very useful for me to talk on this smartwatch was when I was driving. I have a wallet phone case, so I would have to open it and then pick up the call. But with the watch, I was able to just swipe it and talk on it while I was driving without any worries. It was so convenient. I was so happy about that. The thing that I cannot do is reply to texts or emails using a microphone. I have to type or write it. My husband has a Samsung phone and he's able to talk, like reply back via voice. In order to use the apps, you need to download the Samsung Galaxy app to your phone and then get an extended Samsung app to make sure the apps work with your phone. The smartwatch does take your existing apps, but you can't see it. But you can see, or you know that it's processing in your watch. For example, Google Map. I didn't download the Google Map from the Samsung Galaxy apps. It's called Samsung Galaxy app. I know that's a phone, but that's what it's called. But I already had it from Google Play. And the way I know that it's on my watch, because my schedule app is somehow linked with the Samsung schedule app, and I put my work schedules and where my work is. So about 30 minutes before my work shift, the watch lets me know that I have 30 to 27 minutes to work. It knows my location because there is a GPS in it, and it tells me the best route and how long it'll take. So I'm like, oh, there's a Google app on this. Awesome. But I can't access it for now. I'll find out later. The workout apps. They're mostly geared to exercises for motion sense and heart rate monitor. You need to set which wrist the watch is on, because the watch will sense that side. It will purposely make that side more sensitive. If I'm doing a workout that is not listed, okay, so I'm just gonna show all this stuff. Okay, so there is a list of workouts. I just need to get there. Where you at? Kind of hard to see from this angle. Right there. Quick workout. Okay, so if you see like this whole oh there we go. This circle over here, I'm using the bezel to like navigate it. So the workouts listed, if you're doing a workout that is not listed, you have to set it to a other workout. What I do is I set a time duration goal, and the watch will calculate the calorie burn by the time and my heart rate. It may not be super accurate, but it's pretty good in my opinion. Voice command. The voice command is clear and can recognize words and phrases, and either repeats back via audio or visual text. I find this impressive because I have horrible luck with voice commands because I don't put much effort in being eloquent. So when this watch can pick up what I'm saying, that is impressive on its own. My husband, he uses the voice command for reminders or to make lists and tasks and such. Motion sensor. I want to talk about the motion sensor because there is a GPS in the watch. When you hike, run, walk, etc., it follows your path and calculates your distance. Because I knew it did this, I began running around my neighborhood. I'll tell you why. When I'm running on the treadmill, it's not accurate because on the treadmill it says I did this much distance, I burned this much calories based off the distance and the speed. And on the watch, it's not the same. They don't have the same numbers, and it's pretty off-putting because on the treadmill I have better results than on the watch, and I'm like, oh man. So when I'm running outside, I have the results are so much better. So I'm running around my block. After I'm done with my run, I look at my watch and how much distance it was, and I didn't know it was a mile, and that's usually my goal, a mile or more. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is awesome. And it is sensing my speed and my heart rate, so the calorie burn is more, and this makes me excited to run more or in my neighborhood or at home. I don't have to go to the gym. When doing the exercises listed in the fitness apps, you're specifically instructed on hand position and motions. If you do not do these exactly, the watch can tell. Example, sit-ups. Now with sit-ups, I like to do behind the head. The fitness app wants you to cross your arms over your chest. I tried doing the sit-up one with my hands behind my back, and it didn't sense it. It didn't sense the motion going up and down, because it was expecting the hands to be crossed. What I had to do was do my own sit-ups and fake the other ones with my hands crossed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty tedious. I'll find a way how to work around that later on. Another example would be thinking of squats. Like, it can tell when you're going up and down. I was trying to do it on the machine because I like to do pushing kind, and it wouldn't work with that because it was only my legs moving, not my whole body. But that did encourage me to do the traditional standing squat, so I guess that worked out. Durability. It is said that it is water and dust resistance. You're supposed to be able to enjoy outdoor activities while wearing this watch and not worry about how rough you get with it. Now, I am rough with this on. I've hit it against metal multiple times. There were times I was careless, hit it against something, and I would freak out. I'd be like, oh no, my baby. And I'll look at it, it's like, oh, it's still good. And then later on, when I get paranoid and become a perfectionist, I look at it and there's a little scratch. And I'm like, no, there's a scratch on it. And then I get over it because it's not a dent, it's just a scratch. So no biggie. In conclusion, it's not scratch proof, but it can handle you being rougher than rah. Battery life. It is said to last up to 3 days. I honestly haven't let it run more than 2 days. It gets to that 40% at the end of day 2, and I charge it overnight. I get paranoid. I'm not gonna let this go to 0. Nope. The operations of this watch are pretty effortless. When you are going through your apps and such, you can just use this bezel, and the changing of screens and such is really fast. You can also just swipe it too if you like, and then use it back with these buttons here, or go to home. Clarity, the screen resolution, the colors are bright, the words are distinct. You can expand it or magnify so you can read easier, or make it smaller so you can just see all the texts at once. As you see notifications from social media, texts, emails, and etc. On the Fossil, I was able to read the whole message, but on the Gear S3, I'm prompted to check my phone. I believe that's because I'm using the Pixel and not a Samsung phone. Apps. Not a lot of apps like Google Play. Let me clarify that. Not a lot of free apps. The great apps cost money. That's annoying. So if you want some free apps, you really have to search for it and make sure it's the one you want. Otherwise, you have to pay for the better ones. With this smartwatch, I noticed I need to put more effort to understand the operations of the watch and the apps. It can be frustrating because the other Android watches I've had, like the Moto 360 and the Fossil, were made to a similar setup of all Android phones. There were more options from the Google Play, and things were simple to the point of self-explanatory. With the Samsung, I feel limited within the boundaries of Samsung. That's okay because it's growing on me, and I'm finding ways around it, and from what I could tell, the ones that I have to pay for, they're pretty worth it. I really like the Samsung Gear S3 because it is a big improvement for a smartwatch. Good example would be on the Moto 360 for texting. I couldn't even, type or draw. I could only make emoticons. For the Fossil, I could type, but I couldn't write. I could type and draw emoticons. And then for the Samsung Gear S3, I can write, type, and draw pictures. Phone calls via Bluetooth. I don't have to put this watch on my plan. I don't have to pay that extra $10 so I can make phone calls. For the Moto, I couldn't even do that stuff. I think I could reject calls. I don't remember. For the Fossil, I could reject calls. I could make calls, but it would connect to my phone and make the call on my phone. It was like a remote control. But with this one, I can make and take calls. The clarity, visually clarity for emails and texts. It's really good, especially when you're doing it for work and you're on the go. Makes things a lot easier. Like, you don't have to dig through your bag or your purse. You can open it up or look at your phone just to see these notifications. Motion sensor. For the 360, it was not accurate with my steps at all. Like, I had coworkers with the Fitbit, and they'll tell me they made these much steps, and I only made half of it. And I'm pretty sure I moved way more than they did. And then with the Fossil, it was a lot more accurate, but it was still actually I was pretty happy with the Fossil. And then I realized how much more I could get out of the Gear S3, how much more steps it could notice. It could tell my speed. What's also pretty cool about this is speed. That's a good one. I did not mention this earlier. Is that when you're running a long distance, it will tell you to slow down. and then speed up later on. And when you're just sitting around, it will tell you, hey, you've been sitting for too long. You should get up and do an exercise or stretch. And it will prompt you to do a certain stretch, like going from side to side. Like it's asking you to move your hands side to side. That's pretty impressive. It's like telling you to be healthier. In conclusion, I feel like this smartwatch is made for the everyday lifestyle. Work, helps you with the schedules, reminders, appointments, emails, exercising. It analyzes your process and how productive you are. You see results from the smallest amount of data, and you feel motivated to do more, beat your record, push yourself, and you know you can push yourself because all you need to do is make 10 more steps, or do that half meter more, or just work 5 more minutes. Like, it's the littlest things that help improve you, and the more you can conquer it, the more you can do. The next level you can go up, and it is infinite. For a lot of us in 2017, this can help you with your social life, especially when making phone calls, texts, if you're working and you're the type that needs to see the social media, like you don't want to look out on your computer because that's your work computer, or you can't look on your phone because it's distracting, and it's not proper to look at your phone during work. It's so not proper. You shouldn't do that. No. So you can just look at your watch, be like, oh hey, and reply or get back to it later on during your free time. I highly recommend this. It is excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent.